And here's really the point, guys. If you're trying to empathize with somebody and understand them by putting yourself in their shoes, you're doing it wrong. You're empathizing wrong. You're not actually empathizing. By putting yourself in someone else's shoes, all you're doing is saying, if I were in that situation, what would I do? So you're not actually thinking about what somebody else would do at all. You're thinking about what you would do. And you're not the same person as somebody else. I can't really empathize with Joe by putting myself in Joe's shoes because I would make different decisions than Joe would, right? I mean, just hypothetical, made up person Joe. If you are Joe, I'm sorry. But it's the truth. I can't say that I really understand how you feel if I'm just thinking about what I would do or what I would think or feel in a given situation. I'm still thinking about me, which doesn't make sense when you're trying to understand somebody else. So I think it really takes getting out of yourself, getting out of your ego or whatever you want to call it, your own identity, and really feel like if I were not me, if I were this other person with everything that they're telling me about, how would I feel? How would that make me feel? That's what empathizing is. And it's not about a reaction either. It's not what you think of how they feel. That's also not empathizing. That's sympathizing or judging or something else. That's not empathizing. The point of empathizing, guys, and the the reason that you really want to do this and do it well and do it properly is because it's only by understanding people that one, if you can't understand other people, you're not going to understand yourself, and vice versa. But the reason that you want to understand people is so that you can actually communicate with them effectively. People aren't going to listen to you if you don't know where they're coming from. They might be interested. They might actually sit there and stare at you while you talk. But are they really going to hear you? Probably not. At least not nearly as much as if you can actually connect and identify with somebody. If you can actually empathize. And guys, I know that it's hard to say what you would do in a situation if you haven't been there. But again, this isn't about you being in that situation. This is about understanding somebody else being in that situation. And if you can actually get to that point and say, wow, I understand how you feel, do you know how many barriers that's going to break down for you in communication? For me personally, just understanding that simple concept that it's not me putting myself in someone else's shoes, it's being somebody else in their own shoes. Gosh, like my my conflict with other people has I mean, it's not that I don't experience conflict, but my conflict with other people, my being angry or irritated with other people, it's diminished quite a bit. Because it's hard to get angry at somebody when you can see exactly where they're coming from and understand why they feel that way and think about how reasonable that really is for someone to come from a different place and feel a different thing. Like, okay, no, it's not what I would do. But just by understanding how somebody else can get to that point, it's hard for me to get angry. I might still disagree, but it gets rid of a lot of that negativity. And that's how I can really speak to people. That's why I have people say, "Wow, you make a lot of sense and I appreciate what you're saying because it helps me to understand." Because I actually try to understand people, not try and figure out why they're not doing what I would do. So that's the point. Um, and I think that that's probably something that I'll be talking about a lot. It's something I talk a lot about anyway, but for you guys to hear and understand, because I think that's important. So don't put yourself in my shoes, guys. Be me in my shoes. No, that sounds weird. I think you get what I'm trying to say. So give it a try and see how it changes your relationships and your communication in general. Try it. And let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks. Bye.